Welcome to our exploration of the Paris Agreement, a pivotal international treaty aimed at combating climate change. Signed in 2016, this agreement seeks to limit global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius, ideally to 1.5 degrees Celsius. But is it enough? Let's dive into the details. The Paris Agreement is not just a document, it's a commitment made by 195 countries to work together in the fight against climate change. Each country sets its own nationally determined contributions, or NDCs, which outline their plans for reducing emissions. However, these commitments are not legally binding, leading to questions about their effectiveness. Despite the ambitious goals of the Paris Agreement, global emissions have continued to rise. In fact, 2024 was recorded as the hottest year yet, with temperatures surpassing the critical 1.5 degrees Celsius threshold. This alarming trend raises concerns about the adequacy of the agreement's measures. The negotiations leading to the Paris Agreement were complex and built upon previous treaties like the Kyoto Protocol. While the final agreement was adopted by consensus, some countries expressed concerns about its effectiveness, arguing that it lacked the necessary binding commitments to enforce real change. One of the key features of the Paris Agreement is its global Stocktake mechanism, which assesses progress every 5 years. This aims to encourage countries to increase their ambition over time. However, the reality is that many nations are falling short of their targets, and fossil fuel production remains alarmingly high. The agreement also emphasizes the importance of climate finance, with a commitment to mobilize $100 billion annually by 2020. Yet, adaptation efforts have received significantly less funding compared to mitigation strategies, highlighting a critical gap in resources needed to combat climate change effectively. While the Paris Agreement has been praised by many world leaders, it has also faced criticism for being insufficient to meet its temperature goals. Scientific analyses indicate that current commitments are not enough to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, and there remains a significant gap between pledged reductions and actual implementation. However, the Paris Agreement has influenced global climate policies and litigation, pushing governments and corporations to take action. It has even been recognized as a human rights treaty in some nations, setting a legal precedent for climate action. As we reflect on the Paris Agreement, we must ask ourselves, is this treaty a beacon of hope for our planet, or is it merely a symbolic gesture? The debates continue, and your voice matters in this conversation. We want to hear from you! What are your thoughts on the Paris Agreement? Do you think it's enough to tackle climate change? Comment below, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more discussions on climate action.